Last year alone, Americans lost literally billions of dollars to highly sophisticated bank fraud. And honestly, the tactics out there are evolving by the minute. Welcome to this explainer. If your Social Security goes to Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, or really any major bank, you absolutely need to pay attention right now. Today, we're unpacking a sharp, sudden rise in new banking scams designed to empty your accounts in seconds. Plus, we're going over a massive, under-the-radar update to how you have to manage your Social Security benefits moving forward. By the end of our time together, I'm going to show you exactly how to defend your money from these highly targeted attacks, how to navigate the new government bureaucracy without a headache, and best of all, how you could potentially get your payments days earlier than usual. Let's dive right in.
So here's our roadmap for the explainer today. First up, we'll cover spotting fake bank texts. Then, the safe account illusion. Third is QR codes and lookalike sites. Fourth, those new Social Security rules, and finally, how to get paid early.
All right, Section 1, Spotting Fake Bank Texts. We've seen a staggering 40% rise in fraud attempts over the past year and a half. This means your smartphone is basically the primary battleground for your financial security right now. Now, these aren't those generic, typo-filled spam emails we used to see back in the day. These are highly targeted texts crafted to perfectly mimic your specific bank. But here's your ultimate 10-second test to know if a text is the real deal. It all comes down to the phone number itself. You see, a fake alert almost always originates from a standard 10-digit phone number. Scammers rely on these everyday numbers because, well, they're incredibly cheap to acquire and super easy to spoof. A real alert, it will always arrive via a secure 5- or 6-digit short code. That is your absolute first line of defense. So if your phone buzzes with an urgent warning claiming your debit card is locked and it's from a regular 10-digit number, you immediately know it's a fake. You can confidently hit delete without a second thought. Let's make this super concrete. Take Chase, for example. They use specific, unchanging short codes every single time. Numbers like 28107, 36640, or 72166. That number itself is your ironclad verification. You literally never need to click a link or call anyone to check if the message is authentic. If you just memorize your bank's code, you completely take away the scammer's power. And by the way, Wells Fargo and Bank of America operate the exact same way, using their own uniquely assigned permanent short codes. Knowing yours just gives you ultimate peace of mind.
Moving on to Section 2, the safe account illusion. This is a very costly scam, and frankly, a far more sophisticated threat because it totally bypasses your logic and uses your very real fear of fraud against you.
$15,000. That's the devastating amount of money a woman named Kelly Hinton lost. And the speed at which it just vanished is honestly terrifying. Her nightmare started with a really simple text, asking if she had tried to wire a large amount of money. She immediately replied no, which, felt like the most responsible, proactive thing to do. But within minutes, a fake Chase fraud investigator called her, and this caller sounded entirely professional, empathetic, and super helpful. They expertly guided her through securing her money by transferring it away from the supposed hackers and into what they called a safe account. The text, the reassuring phone call, the professional investigator, the secure, safe account, every single piece of it was a complete fabrication. By simply following what she thought were official security instructions, $15,000 was gone forever.
Wells Fargo has an absolutely unbreakable rule regarding this exact scenario, and it's this: a legitimate fraud alert will never ask you to provide personal codes and will never instruct you to transfer money anywhere, including to yourself. I really want that to sink in. It's basically the golden rule of modern banking. If someone calls you claiming to be from your bank's fraud protection department and asks you to move your money to a safe account to protect it, hang up the phone immediately. No exceptions. It is always 100% of the time a scam.
Section 3. QR codes and lookalike sites. Because the digital world isn't the only place scammers are setting snares, they're actually putting physical traps out in everyday places where your guard is completely down. Now, what's really interesting about this tactic is how easily our eyes can be tricked when we aren't paying close attention. A real, trusted web address like wellsfargo.com can be easily mimicked by a dangerous fake like chasesecureverify.com. I mean, it sounds incredibly official, right? Maybe even more secure than the real thing, but it's a complete trap. Out in the real world, scammers are literally printing their own malicious QR code stickers and brazenly slapping them directly over legitimate ones at city parking meters or local restaurants. You park your car, you scan the code to pay, and it sends you to one of these lookalike sites. You type in your credit card, and silently, someone halfway across the world just captured your financial data. So if you ever scan a QR code prompting you to log in or pay, just stop for a second.
Run your finger over the sticker. Does it feel like it's been tampered with? Honestly, better yet, bypass the code entirely. Just manually type your bank's exact web address into your browser yourself or stick exclusively to their official mobile app.
All right, Section 4, New Social Security Rules for 2025. Protecting the money you already have is only half the battle. Managing how it actually arrives is just as vital. The Social Security Administration has quietly but significantly tightened their rules for how you update your direct deposit information over the phone.
Okay, let's dive right into this, because here is the exact new sequence you have to follow to navigate this updated bureaucracy. If you need to change your banking details over the phone, the agent can no longer simply take your routing and account numbers on faith. Now, you actually have to call their official hotline at 1-800-772-1213, and while you are actively on that call, you're required to log into your personal online account at ssa.gov/PIN to generate a unique one-time security code. You then hand this specific code over to the agent to officially authorize the change. Here's the kicker. If you don't have that online portal set up beforehand, or if you struggle to generate the code while on the line, the agent is entirely powerless. They cannot bypass the system. You will literally be forced to travel to a local office and do it in person.
And here is exactly why the stakes for getting this right are so incredibly high. 30 to 60 days. That is how long manual changes to direct deposit typically take to fully process through the government system. If you switch banks or an old account closes and your payment gets rejected because of outdated information, well, having that online portal set up is the only way to correct it in minutes over the phone. Otherwise, you're looking at an in-person appointment and a massive month-long delay before you see your money. Nobody wants that. Finally, Section 5, How to Get Paid Early. Let's pivot to our most rewarding topic today. We're going to unlock some hidden banking features that can actually get your hard-earned Social Security payments into your account up to 2 full days earlier than the official government payment date.
This breakdown brilliantly illustrates that early direct deposit depends entirely on where you park your money, because major banks handle this wildly differently. Over at Wells Fargo, their feature is called Early Payday. It generously gives you access to your funds up to 2 business days early, and it is completely free and completely automatic on their standard accounts. Pretty great, right? However, over at Chase, their early access specifically requires upgrading to a Chase Secure banking account. If you just have a standard legacy checking account with them, you might be entirely left out of this perk. And finally, Bank of America. As of right now, early direct deposit is generally just not offered on their standard accounts at all. So if getting your money early matters to you, you really need to investigate exactly where your specific bank account tier stands today.
Before we wrap up, there's one more fantastic, highly lucrative financial hack you should definitely know about. Because these features vary so much, you might actually be considering switching banks to get that early access. If you do, many major banks offer a sign-up bonus. It's commonly around $200 just for being a new account holder. The catch is pretty simple. You usually have to set up a qualifying direct deposit within the first 60 days of opening the account. So, if you or a family member are thinking about opening a new account anyway to get that early access, timing your Social Security direct deposit set up correctly can mean literal free money in your pocket. It's honestly one of the easiest financial wins out there.
We've covered a tremendous amount of ground in this explainer today, from neutralizing fake 5-digit short codes to seamlessly navigating those strict new 2025 Social Security rules, all the way to unlocking early payments. Look, scammers are evolving faster than ever, and banking rules are shifting overnight. The real question isn't just whether your money is protected today, but whether you're prepared for the threats coming tomorrow. Are your accounts truly protected, and are you getting your Social Security as early as possible? Are you staying one step ahead of the system or waiting to be its next victim? Don't leave it to chance. Log into your banking app, manually verify your security settings, and make absolutely sure your online Social Security account is ready long before you ever actually need it. Thanks so much for exploring this with me today. Stay alert out there and take total control of your financial security.